Howdy! How's all my friends out in YouTube land tonight? I'm recording this video of me working with the power engraver, the power carver. I've drawn out a picture of an owl here on a little wood plaque, and you can get these wood plaques at most any of the craft stores. They're inexpensive. It's made of basswood. Basswood is a soft wood, so it's an easy carver. If you're using a Dremel to try to carve with, it might chew it up pretty good because a Dremel doesn't have the power that these power engravers or power carvers have. The power carver has a turbo in it, and that allows it to spin way faster than what a Dremel can spin, and it doesn't chew the wood up as much, and it uses a finer tip on the different kinds of needles that you can put in there, bits that you put in it. The power carver runs on a air compressor, whereas the Dremel runs on electricity. And I thought you might like to see me work on carving on this a little bit here. I'll probably be doing quite a bit of carving in some of my videos on different projects that I've got coming up. So I've drawn this out just with a pencil, and if I needed to, I could always go back and erase lines and stuff on it and change things if I needed to. But for the most part, the lines on this will be carved out. So we'll get started with it, and as I need to change bits, I'll be doing that. So if you want to hang with me and watch me do a little carving, you probably won't do a whole lot of talking through this. As a matter of fact, I may even mute some through this so that you don't have to listen to this. It sounds like a dental drill, but this is the power carving of the owl on the wood plaque. Now I've got the rough out done, so I'm going to work up here around his eyes just a little bit to make them a little bit deeper. Get the cuts in a little bit more. Take out a little more material there. Getting a little more feature. Any place I see that I think needs just a little bit more deepening on the cuts, go ahead and put that in right now. Okay, he's looking pretty good right there. Set the carver down. Well, easy for me to say. There we go. Now, I'm going to come in with a little bit of sandpaper on this and knock off all the little teeny pieces of wood that's sticking out around where I did my carving. Sorry about shaking the camera like that. It would help maybe if I moved the table here off of that camera stand a little bit. All right. So there we got the rough out on him. And we're going to want to put a little detail to him. So let's get into these bits a little bit here. See what we got to work with. I was working with a number 16 just to lay in the lines, and I'm thinking that probably I need to do a little bit of, let's see, a little bit of detail work there on him, stipple him up a little bit, put some feathers to him. We can go with a number 15 round, I think, on that. We're using a number 16 carbide. We'll go with a number 15 carbide if I can get it out of there. There we go. Put this back in the number 16 bin. Make sure where number 16 is. I don't like getting them all cobbled up. There we go. If you put them back where they're supposed to go, you know where to find them the next time, right? and poke that in there. Tap it down, make sure it ain't gonna come out of there. All right, now let me move some things around here a touch. And we'll fire this up. Okay, now we know these gears up here are pretty dark. So we're going to want to put a little depth to here. Going in with something to darken them up a little bit with. And let's see here. This down in here is going to need to be darkened up some, so we'll take a little of this out. And maybe the eye area. And let's see, we know that the beak area is going to have to be darkened up. And where his eyes go, that part will be darkened up some, so we'll put a little spot in there for his eyes. And we'll come up here a little bit, we'll darken this up. And I say darken it up, what I'm doing is I'm hollowing it out so that I can put some darker paint in there. And then I'm gonna do like some little areas in here around the bottoms of his eyes. So we'll put a little dark paint. And then we're gonna go to work on his feathers some. Now, around down through here, he's gonna be a little darker. Maybe a little dark right in there. Just below his chin area right here. Get a little of that out. And so, what else we're going to want to go dark with him before I start stippling on him. I think that's probably about it on that part. Now, I'm just going to stipple him in some feathers. Do kind of random spots there for putting in some feathers. We're going to have some stippling up in there. It's going to have a lot of stippling up in there. Darken up his head. Right down along the side of his wing here. Dip him in a little bit. There's a lot of darker areas on them. And his tail's kind of stripy. So we're just going to kind of put some stripes in over his tail here. The tips of his wings is pretty dark, so we're going to take quite a bit of material out there on the tip. Okay. And then here around his chest is kind of, or his bottom of his chest, is almost striped. It's like the tips of the wing, or tips of the feathers are dark. So we'll come in around these parts and make them show like he's got stripes. Brush some of the sawdust off of that. Now we're going to come in, going to make this look like maybe he's up in a tree a little bit. Put a little bit of a tree branch in here for him. This ball bit takes out quite a bit of material, so it's a good one to try to put in a tree branch. We might come in here back behind him a little bit. Another tree branch. Maybe over here on this side of him, behind him a little bit of a branch. Give him a little more detail. All right, then. Let's shut the carver down. While it's shut down, I'm going to put another drop of oil in it. Well, easy for me to say. Get it apart here. It's like it's hermetically sealed for my protection. Come on off of there. Well, one way to skin a cat, come loose from there. Got to take good care of your tools. You don't take care of your tools, they're going to fall apart on you. Then you'll never get nothing done. Well, for goodness sakes. screws into this hose, and I'm trying to get it unscrewed. I'll put a drop of oil in there. Come on, you. Well, there we go. Put it back together. Okay, now for our next part, I'm going to do a little sand in there, and then I'm going to come in with a little ink. Ink, paint, whatever is required here on it, and fix things up. Now, we've done a little sanding to it, and I want to make sure that I got a good clean surface before I go trying to add any paint or ink or anything to it. So I'm going to wipe it down good here with a little alcohol. It's going to take all the excess sawdust off of it. Put the lid back on that so I don't knock it over and make a big mess. All right, now I'm going to take a little alcohol ink here. And this is going to be sort of an antiquing type effect where you put the ink on, let it get in all the crevices. I'm going to do the whole thing at one time, just a little bit of it. Then I want to wipe it down. Now, it's okay to get it all over the rest of it because we're going to be painting the rest of it. We're going to go right over top of that black, but I want the black in first. You lay your background in first. Mercy. Got a frog in my throat. Let's put a few drops of that in there. And I'll wipe it in. Now, the issue is it needs to get into those crevices. That's where I'm wanting it, is in the crevices. I'm not trying to just top dress it. We want it in those crevices. That's where it has to sink in good. Because when I put the paint on the top of it and wipe it down, the paint on the top, I don't want in the crevices, see? So we're just going to darken that up. Let me get my camera back up here so I can see whether I'm keeping this in frame or not. Now, it looks really, really black, which it won't look quite that black once the ink dries. And since it's alcohol ink, it ain't going to take it too terrible long to dry. Be sure and sink it in all them holes. The wood's thirsty, so it's going to suck up that ink. That's all right. Ain't like it's going to go all the way through it. Get in all them crevices. Just wipe it in really good. Get her saturated. Now, if you was going to do it in brown, you know, you could do it in brown. Whatever color you wanted to do it in. It doesn't have to be black. Mine's going to be black. There in the bottom part of it. Do these sides up and all. Now, I'm going to paint them later, but still, you know, let's get a coat of black on it to begin with. You see any spots that you missed on your varmint, you got to come back in and hit them again. You don't want them showing up white after you got the whole thing painted. Okay, that's looking pretty dead burn good right there. I'll tell you what. Now, we about tore that paper towel up. We'll get rid of that. And we'll get another piece up here ready to rock. All right. Now, Mr. Alley's looking dark, isn't he? So, what we want to do next is we're going to come in with a little bit of white paint. This is acrylic paint. And I'm just going to put a little bit on the paper towel here. And we're just going to go over him with the white. It's an antiquing type effect that I'm putting to him here. When you rub that paint out of them crevices, the black will be showing up. Now, come on. Put it on the paper towel then. You don't want to go on there. Okay. Now, in the areas where the white paint kind of got a little too far down in them holes, we're going to come back in with the power carver. I'm going to take that out of there. Get down a little too far, that's not a problem. We can drop just a little bit, sink back in there. The see areas here, there's just a little bit too much white. And pull that out. Let me shut this down a minute and wipe my blade off. Get the paint off of it. I'll flip it back on. Looking pretty good. There's a whole lot of touch-up that I gotta do. That's looking pretty dadburn good. All right, now set the power carver down again, and we need to touch up with a little bit of black on a few places here where the carver went in just a little bit much, pulling that white out. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in with Q-tip. Yeah, well, easy for me to say. Where my Q-tips go? There they are. Well, got to get a little ink on it. There we go. That way I'm not dropping ink on the whole blessed thing. Just dab it where a few little spots here that need it. Get back up here where you can see what I'm doing. Just dab a little black paint over my little owl. Darken him up a little bit. A little more control with the Q-tip and just pouring the ink to it this time. And I'm just stippling the ink right over the top here. My little owl. Ain't he just cute? Get him back up there where you can see him. Okay, there's Mr. Owl, looking all majestic. Now, for an encore, I'm going to take a little white over the top here. On the tree. Background. Where'd my little palette go? I have a little paint palette up here. Hey, burn it. Oh, is it that I can't find nothing I want? There it is. You know things don't grow legs and walk off on you. There it is. Get my little paint palette up here. We just want a little white on there. Probably gonna need more than that, but just a little bit to set off my background here. And around the edge. Get between him and his tree limb. Set him off a little bit. And this is how we paint them up. Change positions a little bit, getting a kink in my back. Maybe I need to move the camera just a touch. You can continue to see what I'm doing. So you don't need a whole lot of fancy paintbrushes and stuff. You just come in with a Q-tip and do a little pitty-pat painting. Real easy here around his tail. Trying to keep the white paint off of him as much as possible. You see how putting them stipples in there gave the effect of feathers, kind of set him back a little bit. Embedding them tree limbs in there. Makes them sit back a little bit from him. Makes him stand out a little bit more. Just keep laying a little paint to that till we get that top part covered. So there's our owl, looking pretty doggone good so far. We're not done yet though. Let's see, we killed that Q-tip. We're gonna need another Q-tip. We're gonna need some more paint, and I'm thinking for his little bitty eyeballs, we need to make them yeller. Owls have yeller eyes, and we just need a dib. I mean, not even a drop of paint there. Got about 10 times more than we need in that drop. And I'm gonna tighten the end of my Q-tip up here because we just wanna touch in them eyes just a little bit. You don't want great big old eyeballs being seen. So get this around where I can see real good on where I want to put that. So he's up there in that tree and he's looking for his dinner. He ain't wanting everybody to know he's up there. Put him in here nice and dark up in his tree. Just ease them eyeballs in. There he is. Okay, he's looking real good so far. Now let's see here. I'm a thinking. We wanted to antique that background just a little bit, and I mean just a little bit. I would probably come in maybe a little red. Maybe just a little red. Now, we use so little of that yellow, I'm just going to pinch that right off that Q-tip. Got that Q-tip around there and go in with the other end of it. Come in with just a dab of this red. And I know that looks harsh as all hell, don't it? But that's okay, because we're going to fix that. Just rubbing it out a little bit. So that's what antiquing is. You put it on and then you rub it off. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to put it on and we're going to rub it off. And if I need to, I'll come back in with a little bit of white on top of that just to streak it. I'm not trying to turn it pink, just streak it. Well, every time not cooperating, come on. There we go. That's looking good. Well, not a bit too much. There. Just a hint of the red. Just a hint. Ooh, well, how did we get back into yellow? My goodness. That's got to go. Okay, we'll just retire that one. It's going to be that way. Come in just a dibby dab. When it wants to get too red, then we'll come in with the white. And just streak it. This just sets him off just a touch bit. There, that's the effect I'm going for. And you see that? There's just a little red in there with some white pushed over. Maybe if I get it up here a little bit better, you can see. There. Just a touch more red. Stipple it on. Take my paper towel. Rub it. Oops. And then I take a little white, come in there over top of it. Oops, not the red. Goodness. I'll wipe that back down. Okay. Now let's try white. Stipple that over the top of it. In with the paper towel. Just rub the dickens out of it. You rub it like you're trying to rub the paint off is what you do. Because essentially that is what you're doing. Just come in and rub the far out of it. Come in with the red side of the Q-tip, just lay a few drops on there, stipple it on, take the paper towel, rub it down, and we come in with the white side of the Q-tip, go right over the top of that red. And if you don't get it rubbed down enough, put some more white on there. Rub the far out of it a little bit more. Now we're going to take the red end again. Got a little spot here that we got to hit. And before we put the white to it, we'll rub the red. Then we'll come in with the white. Oops, not too much red, come on. The white down. Rub that part. We'll come back in with the red. Hit this section here. We're just going for a real subtle effect, just a very subtle effect. Now that didn't go quite red enough to suit me, so we're going to come in with just a little bit red again. That's the nice part about this. You can do it, do it, and do it until you get it the way you want it. There, that's better. Now it's matching up. little area there that's kind of going back to wood. Do that now. Got a little area here we got to hit with the red. Dull it down. Oops. Let's see. We'll go in with white. There we go. And then wipe that down again. And there he sits, buddy. Doesn't he look majestic? Wow. Okay, now, right in here doesn't look quite dark enough to suit me. So I'm going to touch that up with just a little black. Maybe the white got on that a little bit as I was wiping it down or something. So there on the tip of this tail is another little place. Now, look at it as you're seeing it. I might darken him up a little bit in here. Right there around his chest. Here's a little bit on the shoulders. And he's looking good. Take this and wipe that down good. I don't want any standing ink. Little tiny place there. Ink bled over. Huh? Black doesn't like to be covered up. There. Much better. Much better, much better. Now see, the edges of it are like a barnwood gray. I'm going to come in with a little more black on these edges here with the Q-tip and just darken them up some. But it's like a barnwood gray, even though you're using black, because that wood soaks up that ink. We'll touch up all around the edge of it up here where maybe the paint bled over touch. Get a little more ink on my Q-tip. Come in right around the top of it here. Do the edges. Want to give it that finished appearance. Oh, goodness. Well, we've got that to clean up now, don't we? That's all right. We can fix it. Better to try to fix it now than later. Since it's black, you don't want to cover. Come back in. See, on this Q-tip, I got half white, half red, so it just kind of stipples it on there a little bit. Give it a chance to start to set up. And I think it needs just a little more white. It's the beauty of painting. You can keep doing it until you get it the way you want it. Now, Dad, burn it. Keep the black off of it. Just come right around the edges. sure you got all the corners covered and the bottom covered. That's looking pretty cool. A place there where I got a little carried away with the black. So we'll come up there and touch that up a little bit. I'll keep doing it until it decides to cooperate with me. All right, now the red covering it. Now we'll go in with the white. Get the white on there. That looks good. That looks good. There's my little owl in the tree. Little antiqued background on a gray plank. So next will be to seal it. I'll put a sealer coat on that with some gloss, make him shine. And that's a pretty little horned owl plaque for somebody that likes horned owls. So if you like this video, you like what I'm doing here, give it a thumbs up. Share it on your social media. Let everybody know that we do crafting and artwork here on the Brenda G channel. And just as a reminder, we're doing a giveaway here on the channel for a challenge. If you'd like to enter the challenge, all you got to do is send me a card by December the 11th. You send me a card by December the 11th, 2017. We're going to put it in a, put your name in a barrel here and bucket, however big a thing we need for all the names. We're going to draw it out on the live stream on December the 11th, Monday night, 8 p.m. And you'll be winning a Surebonder glue gun. Everybody needs a glue gun. So if you want to win this pretty pink gun, all you got to do is send me a card from you to me, handmade, and put your name and address in there so that I can put your name in the drawing. And with that, I'll shut her down. And remember, Brenda's crafty. Be like Brenda.